As a human being, you must have your own dreams, because if you don't have a goal and no direction, you will never have the motivation to pursue the future. But also, having dreams not only won't help you grow up, but it won't help you grow, it's even harmful to your life. Today I'll tell you how scary your disliked dreams are. The opening of the movie is a scene of a seaplane waiting for passengers to fly to a small, deserted island. Julia, the assistant of the island's owner, the island quickly showed up to welcome the guests coming down from the plane, one after another. The lively and lovely Melanie, two half-brother, grandfather Henry's, and Br, a young man named Patrick who wants to be a hero on social networks, and a familiar lady, Don Trang and Na, are all winners of a contest whose prize is to enjoy a special trip on Fantasy Island. This is a magical island that can satisfy anyone's wishes. Who knows how this place was created? They only know that it has a terrible power that makes heaven and earth shake very quickly. 5 guests were taken to their room without knowing that there was an old man in the forest at this time, looking at them with strange eyes. Perhaps this trip will have many incidents. Not only the old man, but also the waiters here are all very strange. All of their faces are stiff like animals. The emotionless robot only has a female assistant, Julia, who smiles at the customer, but her smile carries something inexplicable. While changing jeans, she discovers footprints on the floor. She follows her. Suddenly, she sees a dark shadow appeared in the mirror, but when they turned around, there was no one there. That night, everyone thought that perhaps the island owner would give up the magical medicine heroin and their food and drink, because that was the only way to cheer them up and create what is called a fantasy, or what people call a sightseeing scene. Right at this moment, Boss Rock appeared and crushed their doubts. I didn't want to ruin the schedule in the stone house, so everyone could eat and drink freely. The island this truly has the power that any person in the world would wish for. After speaking, he began to explain the rules of the game. Each person can only wish once. However, you are not allowed to arbitrarily give up, unfinished, and forced to complete until the end of the wish. Very quickly, everyone had their own plans to enjoy this once-in-a-lifetime vacation. 2 brothers from different grandfather Henry, and wished them can live happily and comfortably, play and sing all years round. Sure enough, right after that, Rock led the 2 of them to a very exciting party and said that they were the owners of this place. There are a lot of monsters here. The 3-headed creatures was waiting for them to fight to save the world. Henry and his wife immediately rushed to enjoy the pleasures of the world. Even when they saw a shadow of a dead person passing by, they thought it was because they had smoked 2 nan leaves, enough that she had the next hallucination, knowing that she had missed an unforgettable love 5 years ago. After hearing this, the island owner immediately led her through a door. Inside that door, when returned with the date where she rejected her boyfriend's proposal, and he was actually here waiting for her. The beautiful woman sadly said that for the past 5 years she regretted rejecting her boyfriend's proposal and immediately felt dumbfounded. We've all been together for 5 years, haven't we? Only been together for a month. The next person to make a wish is Melon. She was always bullied by her friends. When she was in school, her wish was to be cured. The person who bullied me. She opened the magic door and went into a laboratory where the kindergarten teacher who collect family names and steals Melon food money is being held. This life is already over, my friend. Melanie thought that that was just a 3-dimensional projection. It looked real, so she followed the instruction manual and pressed the button to start the machine. The punishment, seeing the person who once bullied her, was now being bullied by her. Melanie felt very happy at the same time. After pressing the button repeatedly, a violent video was shown. After watching it, Melanie realized that Leah had actually been kidnapped and brought here for her for tortured. Even thought she hated the other person, but she also didn't want to harm anyone. Melanie beat her. As soon as he wanted to leave the lab, he heard a message saying he couldn't. The last person to stop was Patrick. He dreamed of joining the army and becoming a hero fighting for his country, but until now he was still just to this time he wanted to experience the feeling of being a soldier. So the inland owner immediately took Patrick deep into the forest with a military uniform on. He thought he was going to participate in a survival game like in the game. But unexpectedly, in front of his eyes his long-lost father, Sullivan. Patrick was very angry. He felt that this game did not respect the deceased by daring to use his father image and even demanding to meet the island owner to ask, visited his mother health, but before they could do anything, the whole team was attacked by the enemy, causing several people to die on the spot. Very quickly, a horrifying gun battle took place with bombs and bullets making deafening explosions. But Patrick still thought this is a hypothetical game. Only when he gets hit in the hand does he feel the pain. Finally, Patrick realizes that this is not a virtual game where death can come back to life. This means everything on Fantasy Island is completely real. From the Henry brother partying area to the kidnapped scene, or even Patrick father rising from the grave is real. The island has done it all. Their wish, but also from this moment the horror officially begins. Henry and BX wish. to become a rich boss with unlimited money to spend. However, if they are rich, they will have to face the fact that they will become a target for criminals to hunt for money. While the two brothers were having fun, they were suddenly attacked by a gang specializing in kidnapping and extortion. The leader, Devil, is a very sinister and cruel person. His goal is that you will definitely be killed mercilessly even if you want to run away and lose your pants. But the two of them were still captured by the Devil. He said that Henry and Brackett killed the previous owner of this island and forced to hand over the treasure. Oh man, did I make a mistake? At the same time, in the laboratory behind me, a tall, dark, smelly doctor appeared with his mouth sewn shut, looking very creepy to see him, intending to solve the problem. Melanie was confused and didn't know what to do in an emergency. She quickly threw water down from above, electrocuted the doctor to death, then broke the glass door to save her from escaping. But the two of them didn't run away. Not long after, the doctor chased her and caught her. He stranged her and pushed Liza into a tree. With his other hand, he used a chainsaw to try to kill her. At that moment, a knife suddenly pierced the doctor's chest. The mysterious old man at the beginning of the film helped the other party get acquainted. After agreeing to the proposal, he woke up after falling asleep and discovered that he and his boyfriend had been married for 5 years and had a cute daughter. In Melon's phone, there were not only photos of her family, but also in her mind's vague dream of the past 5 years. When did not expect that this dream would be so real. She went to find the owner of the island. The island wished to make one more wish, but was suddenly closed and refused. That night Patrick finally woke up from his coma. He had always doubted whether the person standing in front of him was his father or not. It turned out to be Sullivan on one act. Mission sacrificed himself to save his comrades, but now he is still alive and standing right in front of Patrick. The island possibilities are truly limitless, although everyone is still on the island, but in reality they were transported to different dimensions and even different time. On the other side, the mysterious old man led Ly and Melon into a cave where he revealed himself to be a famous explorer who was hired by the government, assigned the task of decoding the secret of this island. In the cave, there is a meteorite possessing boundless power. As long as the water passes through it, it will turn black, and that black water can fulfill your wishes, who can also help them defeat all enemies and even revive the dead. Old man gave Melanie a bottle of water and asked her to help him get out of this island so that the horrifying secrets of this place could be made public. Father and the world, while we're waiting for the plane to pick them up, suddenly the doctor who thought he was dead suddenly rushed out to attack to protect Melon. The old man shouted loudly and ran to hug the doctor and rushed down the mountain, converging endlessly while Henry and Bach pretended to obediently obey Devil and then took the opportunity to steal weapons to escape their control. GRE held a grenade and threatened Devil, forcing him to release himself and his brother. Patrick suddenly led people to the fact that they were in different dimensions of space and time, so how could they meet at the same time? Seeing Brackett wearing a mask and holding a grenade in his hand, Patrick thought he was fourth. Seeing that he was a terrorist, he blocked the way and asked, but unexpectedly this gave Devil a chance to protest. He quickly took the weapon and intended to attack the two people, but in the end, he was shot by Sullivan's soldiers until the grass grew green. As for his son, he only died while they were celebrating having escaped Devil. Suddenly a gunshot rang out. Henry was shot once through the chest and collapsed in his younger brother's arms. The person who opened fire unexpectedly turned out to be the Devil who had just been killed. Not only that, his subordinates also rose from their graves and continued to fight. It turned out that monsters in dreams are immortal no matter how many times they are shot. Bullets were no harm in the face of these monsters. Sulian group quickly fell. They could do nothing more than become target for them to bombard to protect Sullivan's son, who stayed to fight and accepting sacrifice to stop the enemy to help Patrick escape. On the other hand, because he wanted to make one more wish, he came to threaten the island owner, but it turned out that he was just the butler of this island, not the owner and the female marketer, that Julia was his wife. But many years ago she unfortunately had an accident and died in order to help his wife come back to life. Agreeing to give her another wish, it turned out that she wanted to correct a serious mistake in the past that year, because when carelessly caused a fire, causing the neighbor's nickname in the next room to death. So this time she wants to change history while many people helping her see familiar figures. Henry and Bakay have to fear for their own lives, so they should run ahead of Patrick when they are sent by the police department to help. Support, however, he did not dare to rush into the fire to save people. It can be said that they were all coward, which indirectly caused Nick death and the dead ghost that always appeared on the island him this time. Others still had the courage not to rush into the fire to save people. One was alone and could only watch as Nick died in pain again. She fell into a coma and was rescued in time by Julia. In the end, everyone also found a way out of the illusion and gathered together. One discovered that each person in the dream would be in danger or be prevented by something, so they could not fulfill their wishes. This proves that they were not in their own dream, but in someone else's dream of revenge. They wanted to leave the island of horror, but before the rescue plane could arrive, it was shot and blown up. There was no other way. The whole group had to run into the cave to escape from Non, but this cave had too many paths, causing them to lose each other. Not only that, everyone also once again entered the fantasy of someone who wanted revenge on them. Seeing his dead brother again, he saw Nick's ghost daughter appearing right in front of Melon's eyes, and Patrick was suddenly drowned by Sullivan, knowing that this was not his father, so he straightened up. It was very difficult for him to escape death by punching him to pieces, but unexpectedly, as soon as he climbed ashore, Melania stabbed him with a knife and gave him several fatal blows. It turned out that she was the one who brought them into the dream. My opponent that year, Melanie and Nick, were a childhood couple. They were about to get married, but before the happy day had come, Nick suddenly died in a fire, claiming that everything was the show of his death, for her husband-to-be. So Melanie secretly planned to take revenge on her. She came to Fantasy Island in advance and then told Rick her wishes. This is also the reason why the people involved Nick's death won the jackpot and appeared on this island when they were about to go to the altar to watch Naked Chicken. Julia also knew that she had actually died a long time ago, although she loved rock very much. But I can't expect living an unnatural life like this. It's all just an illusion, created by blind love. I understand my wife's feelings, so I accept and let her rest in peace under the golden stream. Then turned to advise Melon to let go of the idea of revenge, because those people had no intention of killing Nick. It was all just an unintended accident. But Melanie still stubbornly refused to listen, so Rock immediately reminding her that she hadn't said her wish yet. After daring it, she immediately drank black water and wished Melanie could forever be by her left side. Her wish was immediately granted. Nick suddenly appeared and pulled Melanie into the depths, in the Black Lake. Before she died, she threw a grenade, wanting to untie endlessly with everyone. Right at the moment of danger, V even rushed forward to use her body to cover the explosion. Finally, he realized his dream, dreaming of becoming a hero like his father. That was the end of his terrible nightmare. While waiting for the plane to pick him up, he told Brack that because he shared the same wish as Henry, there was still one thing left. The four-eyed young man immediately wished for his brother to come back to life and return home with everyone, while he himself agreed to stay forever on Fantasy Island to serve the next guests. This is the end of the movie. Hello, and see you all again.